so today we're going to be using this fun background stamp. It's called Line Upon Line. I love it. It is so much fun. It brings in the playfulness of the chevron, but yet gives you the full background. So I'm just going to take it and I'm flipping it over. You can use like a block if you have a block that will fit this stamp, which is totally fine. I have one, but I found that just flipping over your background stamp really works just as well. And there's no need to get out a big block and take it off and put it on unless you really, really want to. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just take our anti-static cling here, little embossing buddy. And I have some watercolored paper. This paper is cut down to 4 by 5. And I'm just going to coat the entire front of that paper. And then I have my Versamark ink pad, and we are going to stamp this up. Make sure you get really good coverage. Now I'm just going to take this piece, flip it over, and place it down right where I want it. And give it a good rub. And then just lift that off. Place this aside. Take this is just Wow clear embossing powder. We're just going to heat emboss this. Okay, so next I have some, my favorite things, ink pads. Now I've never used these ink pads, I just barely opened them. I did do a little stamp trial to see if I liked the way it covers, and I really do, but we're not going to be using them just like a regular ink pad. We are going to be using them to do some watercoloring. So I have grape jelly, blue raspberry, sour apple, lemon drop, orange fizz, and red hot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a block here, and I am going to take the edge of one of my stamp pads and give it a good little pounce right there. Then I'm going to take a water bottle and spritz a little bit of water on there. Grab a paintbrush here. And pick up the water and brush it on. Now you may have to do this a few times to get the coverage or color that you want, and that's okay. I want it to have more of a gradient watercolored look. I'm gonna get my paper wet actually to help that out, help it move a little. So I wanna bring it down past the color point. Let me grab another paper towel here and then just blot off where the white is. So you can see there's not much color there. So what I'm going to do is take the block again. Never tried it with these pads, so we'll see if this even works. Give it a good swipe. And since this is just a little bit wet, it should help it to blend. Like that. And then we will go on to the next color. So take the orange fizz. Clean your brush, make sure you clean your brush between each one. scrub that off. And you can see that the two colors are starting to really meld together. And that's what I'm kind of going for. Now where it's kind of a little more splotchy right here, just take some of that color to make it a little more intensified. Like I said, you might have to go over it a few times, and that's okay. It's simple enough and it doesn't take that much time that you can do that. Okay, the next one is Lemon Drop. So there's this awesome rainbow background, which I am in love with. And as you can see, I stamped to the edge over here. So I just stamped onto one edge, and then I'm just going to trim that little tiny piece off right there. And you could keep that little piece and put it along a card also, so you don't have to throw it away. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I just have a couple scraps of black paper here. And this is a really good way to use your scraps, and it's also a great way to not use a whole lot of product. You could mat this just using the black paper if you wanted to. However, I don't feel like you need the extra bulk on this card, so I just use little scraps, and it makes it look like it's been matted the whole way on the back, but it's not. I'll cut those off. Okay, so I have this brand new set. It's called Flyby from the Alloy Stamps, and it has some really cute like little butterflies, a dragonfly, a little like ladybug-ish bug. It's more like a roly-poly bug right there, but and then has some solid images also. So I'm going to be using this solid image, You Give Me Wings to Fly, and then also the little dots. Now there's a couple different dots on this. These are the bigger dots here, and then there's some littler dots here with some swirls. So that gives you the option, which is really neat too, because then there's like a little petal here and one here. So you could create your own flower. There's lots you could do with this set. Okay, since I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different technique with this, I'm going to place this here at the bottom, and then so that goes there, and then I want the butterfly to kind of be flying off of the page. So I want that there. Got a little bit over, let's see. Like that. The dots. And this is all going to be done in black. So I'm just going to take the VersaFine ink and ink this up really well. I want it to have really good coverage. Okay. Flip this over. Now, the key to this is grid. It's gridded, and so you can take this bottom line here and line that up with your paper to get a good sense of being centered and even. Yay! So that's what it looks like. The VersaFine ink, you do want to immediately clean your stamp off, or else it will leave like a little bit of a residue behind, which we don't want. Okay, and then I just have this other little swirl here. Just going to ink that up. And grab a scrap. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to take this over to my trimmer, and I'm going to trim straight here and straight across here. And then I'm going to freehand and cut the rest of the butterfly out, so the butterfly is literally flying off of the sentiment. Okay, so I have this piece, and can you see that I've cut it all the way to the butterfly, but I haven't cut the butterfly. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and cut around the butterfly. Okay, so we have this piece like this, and now I'm just going to take a black Copic marker. You can take any brushed tip marker that you have and just start right on the edge and go around and get the white edges, and this will make it look like you cut it perfectly even though you didn't. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down to 4 by 5 so it matches this perfectly. Okay, now I'm just going to take some adhesive here and put it all along this card, and then line the card up. Now this piece here, I trimmed this piece down so that it goes right where the black, it meets the black on the sides, because I didn't want the white to cover that black because there's so little of it. I really want that to show. I'm just going to take some foam squares and pop all of this up everywhere. Grab some of these homemade enamel dots here. And just like that. And if you haven't seen the enamel dot tutorial, making your own enamel dots, that is on the YouTube channel. And let's grab some glossy accents. Okay, so I'm just going to be placing this on here, just a smidgen above. I wanted to cover a tiny bit of that enamel dot, so it's just kind of peeking through, like that. Now I want the little dots here, I'm going to put glossy accents on top of them. Just a tiny, my glossy accents is kind of stuck anyways, so this is the perfect project for it because it just barely comes out. Grab a R29 Copic marker. I just want to color that in, that heart. And then put some glossy accents on top of the heart. And then just take a clear Wink of Stella pen and go all over the butterfly. Just make sure not to dip into your glossy accents. And that finishes the card for today. So I hope that this will inspire you to go and create something that's perfectly imperfect. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and thumbs up this video and subscribe. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
So I think that my mom did the really best. I could tell she worked really, really hard. And I think I like the little heart because it means love. You could tell because it's kind of red. This is so stinking cute. And thumbs up and subscribe.